What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Anthony. So it's a brand new year and I've been brainstorming a lot of new ideas for the content of this channel and where I want to take my photography, starting with this video. First of all, I just want to say a quick thank you to those of you who watched my videos and subscribed in 2022. I made a lot of fun memories, traveling to new places, just taking photos, and had a bunch of highlights with some of my videos even reaching thousands of views. My highest watched video being nearly at 30,000 views right now. Starting this channel has helped me to get more inspired and venture out to new places I haven't explored, all while pursuing this art form that I've enjoyed so much with the art of photography. Hopefully this year is a good one and I get to explore more new places, explore more settings, and share them with you through the eye of my lens. Also, when I created this channel, I had a set goal in mind to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I'm nearly halfway there. So if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel and help me to reach that goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers this year, 2023. Now, with all that said, I'll go ahead and start with the subject of today's video. So if you're a film photographer watching this, I'm sure we can all relate. Shooting film photography as a hobby, it's not a cheap hobby. It can actually be really expensive, from buying 35mm film stock to the cost of developing and printing. So if you're like me, I at times like to scope out cheaper alternatives. Often black and white film is easier to find and low cost, but I may have found the next best thing, maybe. Dollar store, film camera, and 35mm film. So I received these as part of a Christmas present from my sister. Apparently she got them at the store called Five Below, which is sort of this department dollar store where everything is said to be $5 or less. I don't know how widespread they are, but they definitely popped up a lot around here in California. So when she told me where she got this, I was a bit taken aback because you usually don't find film in dollar stores. She told me she paid $5 for both items, so $10 for the set, for the film and the camera. So what I'm gonna do is go out and give this a try. I mean, just looking at it so far, it doesn't look like the best quality. It is very cheap plastic. It clearly looks, and I'll tell you guys right now, it feels like a toy in hand. However, if you do recall one of my recent videos where I tested out a Kodak M3.5, that camera was also pretty plasticky and felt kind of cheap, but it did take some pretty interesting photos. So let's not rule it out yet. As far as the film, I'll open it now. Looks like your typical film spool. I will say it has a very heavy plastic smell straight out of the can. It says black and white 35mm film, ISO 400, and wait a second. Guys, if I'm reading this right, it only says 10 exposures. 10 exposures. I mean, your typical roll is about 36 exposures, so when you develop it, you should get around 36 photos back. Mainly because the photo lab I send my film off to get developed, well, they typically charge around $20 a roll to develop the film and process it. So I would basically be paying the same price to get only about 10 photos back. Let's try it out. Because I am still curious to see if this film is any good at all, at least for the sake of this experiment. Okay, so I think I'm gonna head to a spot with this gear and snap some photos. So just follow me along. All right guys, so I just drove down to a local park. I'm gonna try out the cheap film and camera. I don't imagine I'll be here too long since I only got 10 shots on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it and let's see if I get some results. I do gotta say, I do feel a little bit ridiculous walking around with this thing. Because of how small and how bright it is, it does look like I'm walking around with a toy. So one thing I immediately noticed with this camera is when I go to advance the film, I feel a lot of resistance. So for instance, when I snap a photo and try to advance to the next photo, I feel a lot of pull, which means it's either tugging on it or it's just not moving correctly. So I'm hoping it's still shooting and working properly. Well, I gotta say, that was kind of disappointing. Overall, the film did not perform well, as you can see from the scans. Every photo came out of focus. I can't tell whether or not it was because of the camera lens or if the film is just like that on its own. The instructions that came with the camera do say the aperture is fixed at f8 with a 28mm lens. However, the film itself, as you saw, was just super noisy and grainy. And yeah, it's just hard to tell exactly what you're looking at in the photos, so sorry I put you guys through that. The photos did come out having like a very spooky vibe, so I guess this film could be useful if you're trying to go for that. Just not for everyday outdoor shooting like I did for this video. The camera itself I actually had a few issues with as well. First of which, and I mentioned this while I was shooting, but every time I went to advance the film, it kept feeling like it was getting stuck somehow. So I really had to pull back on it to advance the film into the next frame. Second, the film counter didn't really seem to be turning at all. So that was really annoying because I couldn't tell which frame I was on. And lastly, when I was actually done shooting all my photographs and went to wind the film back up, it actually started feeling like I might actually break this little lever off. So yeah guys, overall this camera and film combo from Five Below, it's really a no-go for me if you want to capture some high quality film photographs. Aaliyah, if you're watching this, I really appreciate the gift and the inspiration for making this video. I really enjoy trying out new films and cameras, so it was a fun experience. But yeah, I just can't recommend this as a quality film or camera. And I mean, a 10 exposure roll and I only got 9 photos back, so clearly not worth it if you actually want to get your film developed. If any of you watching this actually want to try out a good quality black and white film stock, I recommend this Ilford Delta 400 Professional. I used this film stock for a recent trip to Yosemite and I was actually really impressed with the quality of the photographs. I'll leave a link below on where you can get it. Alright guys, well I think that's it for this video. Again, thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe. And with that, I will see you all in my next video.